Time now for The Clash. More details have been released about King Charles's historic coronation weekend in May, the first of its kind in 70 years. On top of a concert of stars and a day of volunteering, it's been confirmed the newly crowned King Charles and Queen Consort will make a highly anticipated appearance on the Buckingham Palace balcony after the Westminster Abbey ceremony. But speculation as to whether the Sussexes will be involved following the release of Prince Harry's tell-all memoir Spare and their damning Netflix series continues. In their latest turn, a senior royal insider has revealed to the Mail on Sunday that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, as well as the Duke of York, Prince Andrew, are unlikely to join the King and Queen and senior royals on the balcony and other major public appearances. But is that the correct call? Do you think King Charles is right to ban the Sussexes from the Buckingham Palace balcony if they do intend the coronation? Let me know your thoughts. Email me, dan@gbnews.uk, vote in our poll at GBNews. But to help you make up your mind, we're joined by the biographer of Prince Harry and the Queen Consort, Angela Levin, and the pro-Meghan and Harry journalist, Ernest Owens. Angela Levin, do you think they should be banned from the balcony if they attend?
Absolutely. I mean, I was very, very fond of Prince Harry when I did his biography, spent over a year with him. And now I just think he's horrible, nasty, spiteful, resentful and spoilt. And more. I've got more adjectives to use, but I think he's just let so many people down, actually, who've cared about the monarchy and cared about how he was and, you know, when would he get married. We really were interested in him as if he was part of our own family. And now I just can't stand him. I think his rudeness is beyond imagination.
And I think, Angela, actually, it would really sour the event for a lot of Brits if they were to see Harry and Meghan on that balcony alongside William and Charles and Kate and Camilla after everything that those two have said about our senior royals.
I think it's very difficult for King Charles because he has his duty to the country and the Commonwealth, but he also has feelings of a father and he's loved Harry. So it's a very difficult one. But in this instance, I think you cannot have someone who says they hate the UK, who love living in the USA and attack their father and their brother, who is heir to the throne. You can't have them there. Also, you can't trust them because they'll sell everything that they can get onto and get another TV documentary.
Including private phone conversations, by the way, and private face-to-face conversations.
Yeah, I think it will spoil it. I think it will really spoil it. They'll also take over. All the papers will want to talk about them and how they are and what they're doing. So you have to get rid of them because this is King Charles's day, his day and Camilla's day, and they deserve to be absolutely respected and say what they want to say and be the king and queen of the country. We don't want somebody who really hates the monarchy there. And I think King Charles has to think about William, his older son and heir. And William is absolutely furious with his brother. Yeah. And I think you've got to think of that too.
And for very good reason. But by the way, a punch-up between William and Harry on the Buckingham Palace balcony, no, it wouldn't be particularly regal, would it? So Ernest
push one of them or each other over the
yes,
balcony.
Indeed. No, we don't want that.
No, we don't.
Ernest Owens, why do you think, in that context, given all of the criticisms they have made about the British royal family and Charles and Camilla and William and Kate personally, why on earth do you think they should be on the balcony?
Because they're family. And I think canceling family members will only further the divide and actually prove the point. So my book is called The Case for Cancel Culture.
Yeah, I thought you liked cancel culture.
That you all are supporting Harry being canceled, the Sussex being canceled out of Great Britain. I'm surprised that you're in that. He can
come back. Do you know what, Ernest? But he can come back as a private citizen, but he cancelled himself.
But that's family, and I think that we should let family
cancelled his brother.
on that. I think
Not
that
how
the
you
family
behave about a family.
And I think that cancelling Harry and Meghan in this situation will not bring the family together. I also think that it will not be productive in trying to mend the relationship. Harry has said multiple times he's willing to do so. And I also think that if you don't like Harry, you're actually fueling the rhetoric that he's trying to say.
He says he's willing to do so if he can control what's happening. I'm sorry.
Okay, Ernest,
and I think that by following
you loud and clear.
Logic,
okay, hear you loud and clear. Just let Angela respond, and then we'll bring you back in.
He has said he will agree to come in a very patronising way, but it's as if he's doing all the organising, and he says that he wants to talk first to go through everything. He wants an apology, especially to Meghan. Now, you can bet your socks that he's not just going to accept one apology. He's going to want about 3,000 things that they've done wrong. We've seen that from his book. And he'll go on and on and on. And you can't let somebody who's been so malicious win. You just can't. It's nothing to do with family. He's actually thrown his family to the lions. He's been absolutely appalling. Now, if he really apologises and he agrees he will not use anything that happens on that day to make some money out of it, then people can think again, but he won't do that.
Ernest, is that not a fair point? The problem that you've got is that the royal family welcomed Harry and Meghan back with open arms for the funeral of Prince Philip and the funeral of the late Queen Elizabeth II. He then took that goodwill and trampled all over it by including private conversations between him, William and Charles, which took place after Prince Philip's funeral, and literally quoting them in his book to make millions of pounds.
So what I will say to that is that I think that there has been hurt across both sides. I think that people could argue that there has been things in the British press that has speculated that maybe, his wife, Camilla, also did certain things. I'm not going to dispute the back and forth about it, but it seems like both parties have had issues. You all have picked a side. I see problems on both sides. I don't think Harry's a saint here. I'm not foolish enough to think that Harry and Meghan are perfect. I think that they have done things that have definitely made the situation difficult. But I also think that the family has too. And I think we as the public and we as the press should have a moment of grace to say, let them work that out. But I think simply banning him is not going to make the family get any closer. I don't think there's going to be any resolution.
But if he makes all
I think this
sorts
would be a
of
nice
arguments,
gesture and a nice chance to give them a chance. If you don't want to give them a chance,
you can't
just
do that
say
on the coronation. You can't do that. This is the first coronation since 1953. You can't let Harry win. You can't let him be the number one. No, no, no. This is King Charles and this is Queen Camilla's. This is not Harry. He's the one who has to compromise on such an amazing day.
So Ernest, you think Charles will actually give in and he will say, I'll allow Harry to be there? Okay.
Yes, I think they're going to fix it because the world stage is looking. It's not just Britain looking. The rest of this country is looking. And if he doesn't do it, you're going to see international press outside of Britain that is going to look at this as saying, you see, look, he won't let Meghan come. You know how they're going to go about it.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're implying, Ernest, but what you're doing is implying that there is a racist motivation behind this. That's what you're implying. And we don't do censorship on this show, so just say what you think, Ernest. That's what you're implying.
What I'm thinking is that by them doing it, it's going to be implied that the royal family has turned their back on his family. They're going to look at them as the antagonists.
They're not turning their back on his family.
And for nothing
They're not letting somebody who's been so rude.
Okay.
You can't let somebody so rude who's going to take all the publicity away from them.
Indeed, I agree. But look, fascinating debate. Harry's former biographer, current Camilla biographer Angela Levin, and the journalist and author of The Case for Cancel Culture, Ernest Owens. So who do you agree with on that? Should the Sussexes be banned from the balcony at the coronation? Well, Kim on Twitter says they should not attend in the first place. Amen, Kim. I'm with you there. From Will, hopefully not Will at Kensington Palace. The simple answer is it's up to the King and not the rest of us. Remember, we only know the information we have been fed, and I'm sure there's a lot more to it. And from Shirley, oh dear, I can already see this becoming an anecdote and spare the sequel. Chapter 7, hierarchy on the balcony the day Daddy banned me. Oh, indeed. And your verdict is now in. You're overwhelmingly with Angela Levin on this. 93% of you think that the Sussexes should be banned from the balcony at the King's coronation. Just 7% of you with Ernest saying that they should be up there, although Ernest, I think he may have a point. I think Charles might want to do the whole olive branch thing, even though I think that's a big mistake.